Now I want to show you a couple of things you might not be aware of. We became aware of something that happened if you used Remove Overlap shortly after the program was released, version 3 rather, the update. And we weren't sure if it was a glitch or not, but it wasn't a glitch. It is something that does take place and you have to watch out for. And so now I'm going to explain myself. Our flowers that we made used the turning angle tool. And we used the turning angle tool because we wanted that nice sweeping array of angles to create the effect of our flower. We know it sits over another stitch underneath because we've used the same satin stitch as a padding, and that's to give the whole flower loft, and we've used it deliberately, and we've digitized to allow for the amount of pull that that's going to create, because we've given ourselves reasonable overlaps. Now there's a huge temptation when you've got something like this and you know that you're going to have a bunch of stitches all stitching in the same place. And that is to remove overlaps. But I want you to watch what happens if you use Remove Overlap and you don't know what's going to occur. Right, there's my flower. There is my stitch angles all radiating out nicely. Yeah, okay, so I've got a big lump there. Forget the big lump. Go to Edit. Remove Overlaps. Now, look at what has happened to this one. All those lovely radiating angles have disappeared on this petal. You may not have noticed that, and it won't be until you stitch it that you realize there's something wrong. You've got a big padded stitch there, which is exactly what you want. You've got a big padded stitch there and there, but then you've got this pathetic flat area there and there. Why? Let's go back in again. When you use the Remove Overlap tool, it turns a turning stitch angle into a parallel fill. It'll still keep the satin, but it loses every stitch angle that you created, and it flat lines the fill. So you end up with this instead of this, which is that nicely radiating set of stitching. Now, let me just show you. If I highlight this one and I say Remove Overlaps, now look what I've done to this one. I'm destroying my design, and I don't want my design destroyed. So I'm going to tell that undo, and now you'll see I've got those nicely radiating angles back. Undo once more, and suddenly my other two roses have got their angles back. Now, I'm not saying never use Remove Overlaps. There are times when it's good to use a Remove Overlap. I'm going to click on this flower. I want the flower, thank you. I'm going to tell that Remove Overlaps. And it's got rid of most of that leaf that was underneath. But it hasn't altered the angles of this leaf. Now I'm going to click on this one. I want you to watch the fill angle on this one, and I'm going to tell that Remove Overlap. Now it's altered the fill angle. It's flat lined it to a 0-degree fill. So I highlight the green, I tell it ungroup. I then highlight that individual petal. I go into reshape and I grab my little angle setter and I reset that angle. Now I could do that to this because it only had one angle set. These had a multitude of angles set. I'm going to tell that stop just to show you that I'm not having you on. Edit. Remove overlaps. This is flat lined. Okay, now I have to edit, ungroup. Highlight that one. Go into object reshape. Where is my angle? Now I'm only allowed to put one angle in there. I can't put a whole pile of angles in there. I can only set one. I can't go and type and stick in a turning angle. It won't let me. It will let me have one angle. Is that my angle there? No, that's a node. That's a shame. I can't even see my angle. Let's go in, see if we can get rid of stitches. Normally when you can't see your angle, you do at least get a hint, because all of a sudden you see the little flag come up. Okay, so I'm going to go into parallel fill, and there it is, 0 degrees. Normally it's on 15, and I'm going to up that to 33. Okay, now there is my angle, but it won't let me click here. Let's bring my stitches back. Now, it hasn't drastically affected my underlay stitching, but it has drastically affected my cover fill stitches, and I really do not want that. That makes me very unhappy. So I'm going to tell that undo. Okay. Now it is important that you realize what happens when you use... Anyway, as I was saying, it really is important that you understand how your various functions work. Remove overlap will work fine on little bits like this. Where it's not such a good idea is when you're after a specific effect, as we were after in our bullion rows. And now that you've seen how it flatlines your fill, use it carefully. Don't be tempted to just keep going in and remove overlaps willy-nilly, because it will create problems for you. Okay. Now in the next... I must have tapped on something when I'd still had reshape open. In the next video I'm going to show you how we walk through a design and eliminate unnecessary jumps. And then hopefully I can take the design to the machine, do the test stitch out, get the video clips uploaded, get you moving.